I'm Sara Jane Ho, and this is Mind Your Manners, where no topic is off limits as we uncover the secrets to feeling at ease in every situation. All right, you are back with me and Kelsey.
Hi.
My producer. And Kelsey, I should wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.
Nobody had heard of Thanksgiving in China.
Really?
Actually,
you never celebrated?
No, Thanksgiving is a very American thing. No other country celebrates it. Well, Canada has Canadian Thanksgiving. And in China, it wasn't until families got rich and they were able to send their children to study at boarding school or university in America. And then those kids picked up those habits. And so when those kids graduated and moved back to China, to Beijing, Shanghai, wherever they're from, when it came around to Thanksgiving, they would find their other local friends who maybe experienced it before and invite those friends home and celebrate Thanksgiving with a Chinese twist.
Cute. Okay, give us the Chinese twist.
Okay, the Chinese twist, because everything's a little bit off, when it's adopted. And first of all, Chinese people don't really like turkey.
Oh, interesting.
Because we like dog meat that's tender and juicy, and it's hard to make turkey tender and juicy.
Meat kind of sucks.
So instead of making the turkey at home in our ovens, we order it from 5-star hotels.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a whole Thanksgiving package. So, for example, the St. Regis in Beijing, or other kind of really old school 5-star hotels, they will offer. The Swiss Hotel I think does one maybe, and so people will order that, and yeah, there are all these kind of. It's like because I went to boarding school and I've been to American homes for Thanksgiving,
right? And
then I lived in China for over a decade, so I experienced both sides. I experienced the original, authentic American Thanksgiving and the interesting, adapted, quirky Chinese Thanksgiving.
It is interesting because the older I got, we were never, I actually love Thanksgiving. I think it's a beautiful holiday, but I could never get it off of work because I worked in news and entertainment news, and we were necessary on those days. So I never got it off. So I always just spent it with my friends in LA, and it kind of just became more about that. It's just, my mom would always say, it's just a day. We can have another day where we're thankful and we're all together. And I always kind of loved that. So I feel like I have a loose grasp on Thanksgiving. It's not like I have to have it off.
Well, I feel that Thanksgiving in America Thanksgiving in the States is actually more important than Christmas in some aspects.
Interesting.
It's more family driven.
Yeah.
So in the States, people spend Thanksgiving with their families. In China, people spend Thanksgiving with their friends because my generation in China, nobody's parents are like, Thanksgiving, like what's that? So they don't care about that.
Yeah.
It's really the younger
So I'm on
ones.
par with you guys.
You're doing it the Chinese way. So Thanksgiving is a time for reflection, for quietness and stillness. And I do believe there is a certain energy and spirituality around Thanksgiving. So I thought I would choose this episode to read some responses to one of our previous episodes and a social media post on why you should never let human figurines or dolls watch you sleep.
That reel popped off.
It caused quite a big stir.
It did.
For those of us listeners who didn't hear it yet, check it out. It's a September 30th episode. The title of that episode is Why Room Temp is Cold, Stepmom Stigma is Real, and How to Clear Chin Breakouts. And the very last tip was about this Feng Shui tip. So many people, you know what, I think at this point, I think it's hit 2.2. Yeah, 2.2 million.
This morning it was at 2.
On Instagram with like 60,000 likes and, even more shares.
Well, it's interesting, really quick before you go into it, I have to say the timing is perfect because everyone's become more obsessed with dolls, like the Labubus and all these things recently. I feel like it's gotten way more popular. So it was the timing of it was also just so perfection.
Oh, yeah. People were freaking out about their Labubus.
They really were.
And so a lot of you wrote in with follow-up Feng Shui questions. So I'm going to go through a couple of them that I thought were just fun or funny and let you know what is good and what is not. So just a little recap, right? We said never let human figurines or dolls watch you sleep because that brings little people energy into your life. And especially when you're sleeping, because when you're sleeping, you're more in a yin state and you're sort of weaker from an energy perspective. And so those human art forms or figurines or anything with eyes, really, will have power over you. Okay, so somebody asked, what if it's a photo of me and my family? You don't need to be afraid of yourself. And you don't need to be afraid of your family. However, if it is in your bedroom, you don't want photos or figurines of other people other than yourself, because looking at you, because if let's say you're changing, then your photos of your kids are energetically watching you change.
Whoa, interesting.
Or have sex.
Oh, okay. We don't want that.
So put those family photos in the living room or, wherever in the entrance, wherever, you want to put them, but just not in the bedroom.
Huh. Mm-hmm. So my grandma's next to me on my nightstand. I should move her.
Yeah, unless you want to see you naked.
No. I mean, I don't really care as much about that, but I don't need her to watch me having sex. Sorry, Nan.
Okay, next one. And I thought this was really interesting. A lot of Middle Eastern followers left comments on this. They said, in Islam, we are not allowed to have anything with eyes, whether it's drawings or paintings in our houses.
Oh, wow.
So they said, we've been doing this since the beginning of time.
Wow.
Interesting,
right? That is
right?
very interesting.
Yeah, nothing in the likeness of a human form.
Whoa.
Because they say it's also bad energy.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. I've never really had, besides pictures, I'm not a big doll. That freaks me out. I'm like, I don't need this thing looking at me. Wow.
Another question. What do you think about stray cats staying outside my garage, sleeping under my car almost every night? 2 were fighting last night, but I've also found a dead cat in front of my garage months ago.
What
is this bad feng shui?
Girl, you have a rat problem.
In Chinese culture, we say that cats are very good feng shui because they bring prosperity. And in fact, we have a term called fa cai mao in Mandarin. In Cantonese, it's called fa choi mao, which means a prosperity cat. And sometimes when you go to Asian restaurants or little stores in Chinatown, you'll see
Yes, I have one
the
of those.
little cat with its paw swinging up and down. And it looks very cute. And often people put it on the countertop where you pay, right? Because it's a money cat.
I have her on my desk.
That's great. That's a
Thank
good money cat.
Great.
So if you have a home or a garden that attracts cats, and in Shanghai for a while, I lived in a house with a garden, and all these cats came, and it's very auspicious. But if it's a dead cat, that is not the case.
Yeah, that's not good vibes.
If cats are dying, like that's a problem. Yeah.
And you should probably get that checked. I'm like,
Well, you know what we say in Feng
coyotes
Shui?
maybe.
What we say in Feng Shui is that if you have pets, so let's say you have goldfish, and that pet dies, you're supposed to replace that pet immediately.
Really?
And keep replacing that fish until it stops dying.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because it says that pet, if it's dying, obviously if the pet is dying from old age, that's one thing. But if it's dying prematurely, then
Something's up.
it's taking a hit for you.
Whoa.
It is sacrificing its life for you. The bad energy is hitting that pet instead of hitting you.
Whoa. Okay, so you just keep replacing. Did you ever have any pets growing up that
Fish.
you had to
Yeah, and
constantly
so
replace? Okay.
and we also say in Chinese culture, when you have fish, you want a certain number of fish that's lucky.
Wow. And
So usually, you can have 8 fish or 9. It depends also on your bats, which is your birth chart. But usually we'll have, maybe around like 8 or 9 goldfish, and then we'll have 1 blackfish, one black goldfish.
So you can tell by my birth chart how many fish I
Well,
should
not me
get.
technically, but a
But
feng
someone
shui
can.
master can, who can do your birth chart.
Okay, that's fascinating. I had 2 goldfish growing up that lived like 15 years. They lived so long.
Wait, for fish?
Yes.
That's longer than most dogs or cats.
No, they lived so long. Kurt and Goldie, shout out to them. Yeah.
Well, whatever you were doing was magical.
Thank you. I need to ask someone.
Next question. Hi, I have my graduation teddy bear and an eagle carved out of stone in my bedroom, placed over the fireplace. Yay or nay?
Nay.
Guys, if I said no human figurines, no, angry, whatever, animals, that means, nothing with eyes.
Eyes,
really.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, and that's what Muslims say too. Anything with eyes. So
If your labubu has eyes, get it out.
Yeah. And eagles, you want to be very careful with wild animals that you put in your home, whether in artwork form or statue form, because they can bring the energy of that into the house. So We say that, for example, birds represent fire in Feng Shui, and depending again on your birth chart, fire could be good for you. So for me, actually fire is good for me, and that brings money. So putting birds is good. So for a while I even had budgies. But if it's an eagle with a sharp or curved beak, and if it's pointing, let's say, in the direction of where you usually sit or your bedroom, that could bring aggressive energy.
Wow. Did you learn all of this just from being around your Feng Shui master, like growing up?
And from being in my family growing up. And having Feng Shui masters running around the house growing up.
All the time.
And then afterwards in young adulthood, living in China and having different Feng Shui masters in Beijing, Shanghai, flying in from Shenzhen, to check out my house.
Wow. Because your dad had one that he used for you guys,
so my
right?
dad, they would try different ones, and they had two main ones, one for short term and one for long term.
Oh my God.
Because they were noticing things. You're like, yeah, Rambo's good for short term, but this other guy's good for long term.
Wow.
And maybe we should cross reference. Yeah.
That's fascinating. That's so cool, though. I love it.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. It's a whole part of my other education.
I mean, totally. It's fascinating. Like, you're just spitting this out. I'm like, how do you know this? It's crazy. Because it's so nuanced,
It is.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah. Next question. What if you have framed photos of your friends in your home facing your bed? Does that have the same effect?
Guys.
Yeah. So we discussed this already, whether, do you want your friends to watch you have sex while you're having sex in your bed? No. Okay. Next question. Is the Buddha head sculpture considered a doll figurine that is not good to have in the room while you're sleeping?
Good question, actually.
Here's the thing with Buddha heads or guanyins or other deities. They're not humans, they're gods. And you don't want them in the bedroom because you want to preserve the sanctity and purity of them.
Oh.
So I would say, actually, all Chinese people know that you don't put a Buddha or deities in your bedroom because they are living presences of purity, and they should not watch you having sex. They should not witness any activities that are considered private or sensual out of respect for sanctity. Also, your bedroom's qi, when you're resting, should be more yin, right? The cooling, the feminine, the moon. And a Buddha's statue is yang, which is uplifting, right? It's bringing that uplifting ascendant energy. So having the two mixed in your bedroom creates disharmony.
Interesting. But fine in your house. Just keep out of the bedroom.
Yeah, just not in the bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
A lot of Chinese people like to have a special corner where they put these deities. And it's usually sort of a more quiet corner, or they'll have a prayer room.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what's it called to have a...
Altar?
Yes, exactly. But it's just that corner or just that part of the house.
Yeah. But I generally think, you can put it elsewhere if you want. Just keep
not
it out
the
of your
bedroom.
bedroom.
Wow.
Oh, this was a fun one. A follower said on the social media clip, they commented saying, "Your accent changed 3 times." Fascinating.
That's funny.
So, yes, for those of you wondering about my accent, it used to sound very English because I grew up in Hong Kong. I grew up in Hong Kong before 1997. 1997 was the handover of Hong Kong from the Brits back to China. Because in fact, 100 years ago, they had a 99-year lease, the Brits did, on Hong Kong.
Whoa.
Because 99 years prior to that, the Brits did what they did best, which is they took Hong Kong. They just took it.
Nice, thank you for that.
And then China negotiated it to be a 99-year lease. When they took over Hong Kong, the Brits said in their own words, it is a barren rock. And I have to say, they did a lot out of this barren rock. They turned it from barren rock into a world financial capital.
Wow.
An amazing city. And in 1997, it was handed back over to China. And so now Hong Kong is part of China. And I've always identified myself as Chinese.
Yeah.
And so in Hong Kong, I went to this primary school called the Peak School, which is very English. My father went to Imperial College in London. He just sounds white. He sounds like
Does he?
British white.
Wow.
Yeah. And he also he actually left Hong Kong in the 60s for high school in London. Yeah. So
he speaks fluent English.
Oh, it's better than his English is better than mine, actually.
Wow.
And he can recite Shakespeare and like all sorts of Irish poetry to you.
Oh
and he can also recite all the Chinese stuff to you too, like the Tang poetry.
Wow.
Tong Si San Bak Sao. I mean, all that stuff he can do.
That's wild.
He's probably one of the most bicultural people I know in terms of not just bilingual, because I'm bilingual where I can speak both,
Yeah.
and I'm very comfortable in both. But he can go deep with you into Shakespeare and go deep with you into Confucius. Like
Wow.
mega deep, both sides.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
And so, I grew up sounding very English, and then I went to U.S. boarding school at Phillips Exeter Academy and became immersed in American culture. And now my accent is, I guess you could call it mid-Atlantic, somewhere between the U.S. and the U.K.
Yeah.
And it changes, depends on who I speak to.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I really can't control it. So if I'm speaking to someone who's English, I sound way more English. And later on I learned that actually it means you have really good etiquette. Because when
you go to them.
Yeah.
Like
and
you falter to them, yeah.
I want whoever I'm speaking to be able to understand me.
And
so,
probably feel comfortable too.
Yes,
Yeah.
both. And then so subconsciously, I'm just adjusting my accent without even really having any control over it.
That's funny because I've never really noticed that.
For
like,
me?
yeah,
Or
from you. Like, I've never noticed it drastically change.
Well, when I speak to you, I sound much more American.
Right. That's so funny. It makes
Yeah.
sense though.
Yep. One last question on this. I have an abstract painting above my bed head where I sleep. Is it okay? And this follower sent me
abstract.
a photo of the painting. And I said, abstract is okay,
Yeah.
but this one looks a little dark. The colors were a little dark. So I said it looks a little yin because it looks heavy, which means that it'll affect your dreams in a heavy or yin way, which is not great.
No, you don't want that.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
said just remove it.
Oh, and it was like framed. Okay.
It's
okay.
framed and so when she's sleeping, it's above her head.
Yeah,
on
that
the
feels
wall.
aggressive.
Heavy.
Right.
Generally speaking, when you're sleeping, you don't want any artwork above your head because whether it's uplifting or whether it's more heavy in color, it'll still be heavy in weight on you because it's hanging above
In effect.
you.
Yeah, your sleep. That makes sense. How do you feel about dream catchers?
What is a dream catcher?
Oh my gosh. So it's very Native American culture, and it's this it's a circle, and it has like kind of woven. It's really pretty, and it has feathers hanging down. And I've always had one above my bed since I was little. I thought they were so beautiful, and they're supposed to help catch your dreams. And I have vivid dreams like every freaking day. It's exhausting.
Oh my gosh, same.
So I've always had a dream catcher.
Has it helped?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to make your dreams more vivid? Or?
No, I think for me, it's always helped me remember. You know how you will wake up and be like, God, I don't remember that dream? I always remember my dreams. It's very rare that I won't. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what it does. I should probably look it up. But I've always had one, and I can remember my dreams well, and it's supposed to be good energy for dreaming.
I really believe in, I don't know very much about Native American culture, but since going into spiritual work, I've become really interested in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to read up on that.
You should, because I want your opinion on it. But I love my dream catcher, and they're just pretty.
And
they don't have eyes.
I had my vibrational chart read recently.
What does that mean?
And what I realized is he's kind of like he's just basically a white Feng Shui master. Because I gave over my date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and also my current address, And he basically spent 3 hours on the phone with me going over like what I should hang where, like, I'll send him over to you. His name is Willie Ingram.
Wow.
And he takes a little while to respond to you because he's on a different realm. He's like on a different plane.
I believe that.
And,
wow.
And the old me pre-Kabbalah is very impatient. Me post-Kabbalah is like, he hasn't replied, but I know he will.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it.
And he told me to paint my left foot middle toenail royal blue in order to have more lucid dreams.
That's why you asked me about my nail polish.
Yes. And so on one of the episodes, I saw, Kelsey's wearing royal blue nail polish. I need to get that. And I haven't yet because I think it might look a little odd. But what I have done, he said I could also buy royal blue socks.
Oh, great.
And wear them when I sleep.
Wait, I have royal blue socks on right now.
Are you wearing royal blue socks on right now?
Ignore my light hair.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I love it.
Wow.
Wear them while you see. I don't like wearing socks while I sleep, though.
I do because I get a little colder when I
okay.
sleep. My body temperature just drops. And I was wearing them for a couple of nights. But my dreams were already very vivid. And then add this on top, I was waking up completely exhausted and depleted. So I just stopped.
Yeah, I'm curious. Get a dream catcher. There's a lapis. You have your crystals with you, but I use a lapis crystal that's this royal blue.
Yes, I have a lapis at home on my desk.
Make sure I would put that by your bed.
Oh, that helps.
It helps with dreams.
Oh, great.
And it's royal blue, so that all makes sense.
Listeners out there, I highly recommend. I mean, I've been getting into crystals lately. Either go ask your psychic or somebody intuitive to intuit what crystals you should have, or just go to a crystal store. And they say that when you can play, you feel it. Like you just play with them, you pick them up in your hand, and you're drawn to certain ones. And you're drawn for a reason. They say a crystal finds you. So I would recommend.
I always put them in my hand, and whatever hand feels, it's either like heavier or warmer. And if you really just like sit with it for a second, you can feel it.
Yeah, like you feel the weight, right?
Yeah. It's the same as skincare products. People used to always say this to me, and I was like, what? But now I actually get it. You can hold one, and if you like lean, if it kind of comes to you, you use it. Your body wants it. If not, you put it back.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it too. You can put it to your heart.
Yeah.
And lean into it.
Right, because that's very powerful energy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Fascinating.
You know, speaking of heart, my psychic did an exorcism on me the other day.
You still need to give me her, by the way. I want this psychic.
Krista.
Oh, Krista did it. Oh, queen. I'm seeing her tomorrow.
Krista did she did maybe exorcism sounds too scary. I don't want to freak out
a cleansing,
listeners.
a cleaning.
Well, she cleared an entity from my heart. Let's just put it that way.
Did she say who it was or what it was?
Well, okay. So I was visiting my stepson, Jeff, in Savannah, which is known as the most haunted city in America.
Oh, that's right.
And I signed up me and Joanne, as in his mother.
You went ghost hunting.
Wife. Yeah, we went ghost hunting.
Oh, that's right.
And she was horrified because there was a 7 p.m. family friendly and the 9 p.m. adults only. You know me. I signed us up for 9 p.m. adults only.
Of course.
And I thought, yeah, how scary can this be? She was quite horrified. I was very inquisitive because you know me, I'm a very curious student.
Yeah.
So I was
Sagittarius.
and so I was up all in like the details, the histories, the facts. And then the very last site that he took us to was by the cemetery, which again in Chinese Feng Shui, you don't want to be by the cemetery. I did ask as we were walking over there, I said, are we going to be going into the cemetery or staying outside? And he said, oh, the cemetery is almost 11 p.m. and it closes at 6 p.m. So we're going to be right outside. And I said, okay, that's fine.
That's better, yeah.
And Joanne's looking at me like, are we really going to do this? So anyway, so we stop out there and there's a playground, an empty, a little playground that was right outside the gates of the cemetery. And the guide goes, well, Sara Jane, it's so funny that you are asking if we go into the cemetery. And we're not in the cemetery, but like the whole area where we're standing is actually technically a cemetery.
You're like, great.
There's all these bodies underneath us.
Great.
And then he told us a real story. It was one of his tours, how a mother had her young daughter with her. And it was on the earlier tour as well. And the younger daughter was playing, and she was kind of being like, rowdy. And so the mother said, "No, get off the playground. I want you to sit on the grass right here." And so she's sitting on the grass. The daughter is, and she's young, 6 or 7 years old. And after a few minutes, she points at the playground. She goes, "Wait, but if he's playing there, I should be able to play there too." Everybody in the tour group looks over to the playground, doesn't see anybody playing there. Immediately, everybody whips out their cameras and iPhones, started taking photos or video to see if they can find any like supernatural activity.
Whoa.
There's actually a different term for it. Not supernatural. They have like an even more technical term for it. Hypernatural? I forgot.
Oh, I don't know.
And somebody in their photo they take a picture of the playground, and in the bottom right-hand corner is a picture of a little boy.
No way.
And he's staring at the camera.
No.
And he's dressed in a tunic, which shows he's an orphan, a black tunic showing he's an orphan. And he's see-through in the photo.
Ooh.
And our tour guide, because he has all these photos and videos.
See-through?
Oh, paranormal activity.
Paranormal, that's right.
And he shows all of us on his iPad one by one. And he shows it to me. And he on this tour, he'd shown a lot of other creepy photos and videos. But this one really haunted me.
Ugh.
And afterwards...
And the kid was looking right in your eyes.
Yeah, looking right in my eyes. To the extent that afterwards, because, as he was talking about it, he kept showing us. And I even said to the tour, I was like, you can turn it around now.
You're like, I'm good, thank you.
I was really... Wow. And nobody was as disturbed as me.
Interesting.
And then in the next 2 weeks, every day, his image would
you told me
pop
this. Yeah.
into my mind, and it really kind of haunted me. And so I told Krista, I was like, listen, I was like, can you just see if he's on me or something? And she was like, let me look, take a deep breath. and then she said, she said, there's a heavy entity on your heart and it's accumulated over time.
Whoa.
And so it wasn't necessarily this little boy, but this little boy was a trigger. I was like, oh, then it's good that I went on this ghost tour.
Yeah.
Because then this triggered me to then ask you, and then now you found this entity on my heart.
It was probably like, it's like the last little bit in the cup and now it's overflowing, right? Wow.
And so she did this exorcism. I mean, she had me lie down on a rug in my living room and do these variations of breaths while she started chanting.
Whoa.
And then she had me later on that night do a saltwater bath, or at least put my hands and feet in a salt water, which I did. And then she gave me this prayer, which is called the Proclaim Your Sovereignty Decree prayer, to say for 11 days in a row before I go to bed. And I brought it with me. And it's this 3-page prayer.
3 pages? Wow.
To help transmute interfering energies, which I've created or accepted through the journey of my soul. Distortions, illusions, thought forms, and other energies have been designed to create holographic veils, obstructing your ability to see your truth.
Whoa.
Isn't that interesting? And you know what? Then I felt better.
You feel better?
And after saying this prayer, I felt I'd never slept so well than in those 11 days.
So it's so fascinating. It's making me think the Greek culture has a thing called the evil eye. And I used to work with
Jewish too, in Kabbalah as well.
Yeah, and so I used to work with, Greeks, and whenever Maria would get an evil eye, she would either call her dad or her best friend, who was Greece, and he would read a prayer and like have to like clear her of this evil eye. Like she would feel it. She was like, I can't sleep. I feel so heavy. Like I could feel like I think I have an evil eye. My head hurts. Wow. And they would read this prayer and like do this thing, and it would clear the evil eye. So it reminds me a lot of that, which is just so fascinating. And I really believe in that stuff. Wow.
Same. And I said, Krista, what should I do when this boy's image comes into my mind again? And even though she was on the phone and she hadn't seen the photo, she said, oh, I see him. He's looking right at the camera. And I was like staring into you. And I was like, yeah. She said, just say cancel. And so every time I thought of him, I was like, cancel, and it would be gone. And then she said, she told me actually, I was like, why did this little boy hit such a chord with me? And she said, because of his vulnerability. She said, you're relating it to your vulnerability at that age, around 7 or 8 years old. And it's a direct connection of you feeling vulnerable in the world and how vulnerable he must have been. Oof. Which is true. I'm an only child. In my younger days, when I was a child, my parents were never around. They were traveling, or if they were in Hong Kong, they would come home late at night. Yeah. And I was very, very lonely, and I felt I had no line of first defense.
Felt orphaned, maybe.
Well, yeah.
And when you're so little, you have no idea.
Right. And
interesting.
And so she said, when you see that little boy, just because love is the most protective and strongest energy, just see yourself and just send him love and wrap him in love.
I love that.
Wrap your 7-year-old self in love.
You know what else I think too? The more you're opening your heart to motherhood, I'm sure you felt his pain in that as well. Yeah. Like with you, yes, as a little kid, but also you as a mom being like, oh, this poor baby, Totally. So I love that. Sending him love, and because that's what he needs. I still think so many souls are around us all the time.
Yes, they are. And then Krista told me that because of all the spiritual work I'm doing, to do more grounding. And remember one of the previous episodes I showed everybody the Quinton seawater packets that I was drinking. And I guess I didn't really understand, because she would just say, my psychic just tells me what to eat and what supplements to take.
And I was like, girl, what?
What to do, and I just kind of do it without questioning all the time. So I went back and I looked up, why is grounding important in spiritual work? And so what I found out was, spiritually, grounding is important for maintaining a healthy balance between your inner spiritual world and your physical life, preventing you from becoming detached or overwhelmed by spiritual exploration. It helps you stay present, allowing you to integrate higher wisdom with your daily reality, receive energetic support from the earth, and safely release excess or unwanted energy.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and so because of that, she told me to get an earthing mat.
Yeah.
Which I never
I've
understood
had one.
This stuff before. And so I bought it, Actually, I bought the one that I put on my bed, but it was kind of too big.
That's what, I used to sleep on it. I didn't feel like it helped.
I returned it. And so instead I got an earthing mat, and it's a conductive mat with a cable that connects to an outlet. And when I work on my desk, I just keep both feet on it. And it says it allows a person in contact with a mat to become electrically connected to the earth to receive free electrons, which helps neutralize free radicals in the body, potentially reducing inflammation, stress, and improving sleep and blood flow. I got mine from earthing.com. Guys, listeners, I recommend, especially given all the pollution, like the EMF electrical pollution that we're dealing with day to day, living close to power lines, Wi-Fi, right, Bluetooth, all this stuff, wireless. It's important to do grounding.
You know what else? If you have a nice patch of grass, go stick your feet in it.
Yes.
I do it every
Barefoot,
morning.
right?
Yep. So when I walk Max in the morning, my dog, I always wear my slides. So because there's one patch of really like mushy grass that I love, and I will face to the sun, bare feet in the grass. I'll stand there for like 2-3 minutes and make him stand with me.
That's
and it helps
so
a
great.
ton.
Yeah, my psychic has told me to do that too.
It's really helpful. So the grounding mats are great, but if you can't do that, go stick your feet or do both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that though. But it makes sense. We've never actually fully looked at your chart, and I would love to, but my assumption is your Mercury is also in Sagittarius, which that's a lot of fire. And I know for me, I have no earth in my chart. So when we get excited.
Oh, I'm Earth, so I'm good for you.
What do you have? Earth what?
I need
Moon
to check.
maybe?
Not
You are
sure.
good for me. I need earth people in my life.
Yes.
But we get so excited. But your Sag gets really excited, and it's fiery, and it's up here, and you need something to bring
Yes, I need
you
to be
down.
grounded.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I love that. Well, keep us posted on your grounding mat journey.
I will.
Love.
All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving once again. Hope you didn't get too spooked by our Thanksgiving episode.
And I'm grateful for you.
Oh, yeah, I'm grateful for you, too. I'm so thankful, Kelsey,
Me
to
too.
have
I really am,
you
too.
in my life. You're the most amazing producer that I could ever ask for.
Thank you. Well, I love you, and you give so much to me, so I'm so grateful. Like, it's almost our year anniversary of meeting
It really
and starting
is.
the show.
It really
I love
is.
it. Grateful for you.
And so, yeah, for our listeners out there, listen, gratitude and thankfulness and love is the shortcut to anything in life. Think about 3 things or people that you're grateful for or to have in your life today. Happy Thanksgiving. Keep the questions coming. I see you. I hear you. I will answer you. Visit my YouTube channel to watch the full episode. And if you want to support the show, please do leave a rating and a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It will help new listeners discover us, and I will be very grateful. Thank you for tuning in to Mind Your Manners. This is your host and etiquette life guide, Sara Jane Ho. And remember, no matter what life throws at you, with me in your ear, you got this.